What's good, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the On The Go podcast. I'm one half of your co-host, James Jackson, and I got right here. The reason I'm hesitating because I see him. I see him right here. You know his name. His name is Jacob Baton. Jacob, what's going on, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing okay. Another day.
You doing okay?
Yeah.
Just another day?
Just another day, man.
You know.
Like it's about to rain outside again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
We need the rain.
We do.
From what I saw in the news, like there's a big storm system coming.
Ah, great.
Yeah. So that'll be nice.
Yeah.
I'm not really ready for I'm not a big rain person.
It depends.
It depends?
Yeah, it depends. Like, you know, some rain is nice, some rain is awful. As long as it doesn't rain or storm when I'm at work.
Yeah.
Because I'm in charge of, like, putting out the EAS stuff.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that while I'm at work. So I want the next guy to deal with that. So it can rain afternoon, which it is right now.
But other than that, man, nothing's been going on with me. I'm just focused on the podcast, trying to make it better, you know.
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Yeah, try to come up with different ideas and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, we got some cool ideas coming up. We got some cool things. You know, we're getting there, folks. We're
getting there.
We're doing what we can, and we're doing the best.
Yeah, we're doing the best we can. I don't think Rome wasn't built in a day.
No,
I don't think it was.
That's what they told me.
Conspiracy theories probably tell us anything. Conspiracy theories probably tell you differently, but
right.
Yeah, Rome.
Maybe Rome was always there. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe the aliens were there the entire time.
Right.
Maybe the aliens built this.
Maybe so. Maybe the aliens that they found a few weeks ago, right? The little alien body guys.
Did you actually believe that?
You know what? I saw an article earlier today explaining how they examined the bodies and like they've pretty much determined that they're not man-made. But they're not saying they're extraterrestrial. They're just like, oh, well, they're not man-made, and you know, we did all this examination. I don't know. It just seems like the alien news isn't really
and that's why
hidden people.
And if anybody's been wondering why we haven't been talking about that on the podcast, just because I just didn't feel like it was a thing of interest. I don't know about you. It's funny.
It's funny. I was thinking about it earlier that the alien stuff is more fun to think about when there's like no aliens.
Yeah,
but also, they look like little ETs, so it's not exciting.
It's
right?
not.
It's just like, oh, okay, that's what they look like. Now, if you showed me, like, the bug thing from Starship Troopers, and you're like, yeah, this is what aliens actually look like, that would be more news, because that's terrifying.
I think that probably would be a bigger news deal.
Or, if aliens looked like regular people.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, if there was no, like, extraterrestrial or, like, what we had fantasized them to look like. If they were just normal-looking people, I think that would have been bigger news, because then it's like, not only are we not alone in the universe, we're not the only humans.
Yeah, I think
that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's a little bit more mind-blowing. But I think also, too, when you get to the case of where it's starting to drive a real wedge, and it's starting to get real political with it. And it's starting to get real serious with it. So I'm like, wait a minute, are we getting serious about this now?
Yeah, I know.
People getting pissed off about you not believing about aliens.
What happened?
Like, what?
Everyone's so opinionated.
Yes. I'm starting to think that not everybody needs to have an opinion anymore.
No, they don't. Really don't.
That's why we haven't really talked about it too much. So I know a lot of people wondering, like, why you haven't talked about the alien stuff? I'm like, maybe one day if we find some more substantial news, then we'll probably delve into it topic wise.
No,
but I
agree. I agree.
As we know, the writer's strike is still going. Well, the writer's strike is not going on anymore. It's a tentative agreement,
right?
So that's that's starting to go away. And as they should.
Hold on. I have a thing for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, writer strike's over. Well, sort of over. Yeah.
Yeah, sort of over. Yeah. Now the actor strike is still going on, which I don't think that'll be going on too much longer. If they can get an agreement going for like probably another week or so.
I would imagine, the writer's strike ends, the actor's strike should be soon to follow. And also they kind of did it in solidarity. True. Right? So, true. I mean, obviously some actors do need to get paid more than what they've been getting paid. Yeah. But for the most part, I think it was kind of just like, hey, you guys are striking, we're going to strike because you need our help.
Yep. So that's why I say that I think that the strike probably for the actors will probably be over with in a week or so. Mm-hmm. And then that's when things will really start opening up. But also, too, I saw the actors also having a beef with the gaming community as well.
What?
Yeah. Now, hear me out. Because they do voices, too, now.
Yeah.
And they don't get paid a lot.
Well, they do voices. They almost do pretty much acting itself. Like you're in the whole mocap experience.
Exactly.
Now, right?
So
like
I kind of understand that.
Yeah.
I can kind of understand them not. You got beef with that
because
too.
in some ways it would fall under the same
Guidelines.
jurisdiction, right? Because I mean, if you see behind the scenes of any modern games, like they're on. It's like a set. They're on set basically.
They're on set the entire time. So I don't know what's going on with that. I heard they trying to get another strike going with that one as well with the gaming community. So
That's
I don't know what's
kinda
going to happen
funny.
with Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, it's done. At least
It's
coming
done
out.
now, so it has come out.
Yeah.
Okay. But with the writer's strike, they haven't really divulged any information on what were the terms that they agreed on.
Right.
But I do want to talk about what's going to happen going forward. Because I don't think it's just a handshake agreement and you pen on paper and then we go back to normal. Because the studios are going to have a beef with this. They're like, you know what? You put us through hell.
Yeah.
So we're going to kind of make it hard for you now.
Yeah.
And what I think is going to happen now, you remember back in the day when you used to get, I can't even say back in the day, even now, when you get a pilot and you run that pilot and you get you order about 10 episodes.
Right.
I think that's done.
Yeah.
Studios are not doing that anymore.
So you just get a pilot?
Oh, yeah. Nah, they probably won't do that anymore. If they know that the show is not going to make any money, they won't do it anymore.
It's funny you say that because in a way, that's kind of what Netflix does, right?
Yeah.
Because they do a show, and if it doesn't like hit that first weekend, it's almost canceled right away.
Kind of like Jamie Foxx had a show where he's supposed to play like a father.
Is this recent?
Yeah, it was recent. He had a show where he's supposed to play a father, and he takes care of his daughter, and he's a single father. And I think that only ran for like 10 episodes. Canceled.
Damn.
Now, Upshaws with Mike Epps and Kim.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
Now, that one has been ordered for, I think, another season or
Really?
so. Yeah, so that one's doing pretty good.
Okay.
But yeah, you have a lot of shows like that.
Yeah.
But no more shows. Remember, you just be able to just pitch a show to the studio.
Right.
Maybe Paramount, MGM.
Right.
I think that's done.
Yeah.
The studios are going to come crashing down on that.
Well, I mean, you still have to pitch, right? So what do
you can pitch it, but if they know for certain that it's not going to do anything, they're not going to put it in development anymore. I would imagine they're not doing it anymore.
I see.
Because the cash flow is not there anymore.
So you think they'll be a little bit more strict? And
they're going to be a hella more strict.
Yeah.
Okay. No more ordering 10 episodes. No more pilots.
Right.
I think those days are done.
You're like, look, you got to come in here with an ironclad plan.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
This is going to make this much money for us to invest. Mm-hmm. And then if it doesn't make that much money, it's probably going to be something in the contract, right? Where it's like, we get some of that money back or whatever.
They can't do that anymore. So I think that'll be the cause and effect. Because there's always a cause and effect when you do strikes. I don't think that you come out of a strike and we just buddy again.
No. I mean,
because feelings were hurt.
Yeah.
Money was lost.
Yeah.
People lost homes.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so there's a lot of people that have to move out of LA and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of residual effect from this. So I'm curious to see what that is going forward.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to kind of follow and find out what's going to happen with that.
What I do want to talk about is the early reviews for The Creator.
Okay.
With John David Washington.
That looks really interesting.
It does look interesting. It does look really, really interesting.
It reminds me, I mean, the subject matter, of course, reminds me of it, but it reminds me of the movie AI from back in the day. Yeah. You know, little Haley Joel Osment. It was like kind of Pinocchio, but like with robots.
I remember that movie.
Yeah.
I really remember that.
Such a weird movie. It kind of, I don't know, it's one of those weird, it's one of those movies that has like a weird, disturbing feeling for me from my childhood.
Well, I mean, The Creator kind of looks disturbing.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
you see what that kid looks like?
Yeah,
all the people?
Yeah. But, I mean, it kind of reminds me of that, and it kind of, it makes me interested, because it looks good. Visually, it looks great.
Yeah.
You know, it's from the creator, the person who did Rogue One, so it's like Star Wars-esque.
And you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Like the way the camera work and all that.
Even the poster looks like you could put a Star Wars like logo on there, and it's totally like, agree. Oh yeah, I totally buy this.
Totally agree. Which I love, by the way. I love Rogue One. Like that's probably the best Star Wars movie.
I have to rewatch it. I've only seen it the one time, and I was.
What'd you think of it?
I was super hyped up when I saw it, so maybe it just didn't live up to the expectations.
Yeah, but
I just thought it was okay.
Okay,
it didn't really impress me too much.
Probably because you were probably pissed off with Star Wars at the time.
No, I wasn't. I was really excited for that movie because I was like, "Oh, this is great. It's a prequel. You know, it's before 4, so you get to see all the things."
Man, I'm a big homer for that movie. I can stop everything and watch that movie anytime it's on TV.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it one day because I've really only seen it the one time. There's so many movies where I've only seen the one time and it's been years.
Yeah.
That I need to go back and rewatch some of these things.
Definitely check it out. I think that was a really, really good movie. But
early reviews
for the creators come out,
mm-hmm.
and I want to talk about how you can pay attention to reviews, but you gotta take it with a grain of salt,
right?
Because some of these people that do reviews, they have a little interest in it. And sometimes they say it's good, sometimes they say it's bad. Rotten Tomatoes is a really, really big indicator.
I don't really trust Rotten Tomatoes.
Nobody does.
I never trust their tomato meter.
Yeah, nobody does. Like, sometimes you can and sometimes you don't. Like, I think for The Flash, I think they gave it like a 60.
Mm-hmm.
And the audio score for it was like 80. So it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, they do good from time to time. Some of the reviews I've been looking at for Creator is pretty much on a mild note, you know, and I really, really, really hope this movie succeeds.
Okay.
Because after Barbie and Oppenheimer, it's been kind of really, really slow. It's been really slow.
I mean,
and they're milking Barbie for everything they got.
They really are. It's back in IMAX.
Yeah,
it's got an end credit scene now.
Yeah, that's all they got. Like, they're milking it for everything, man.
I mean, look, Barbie was a fun movie.
It was.
And if you ignore the rage bait and the manufactured outrage that we've spoken about before, but if you ignore that, it's a fun movie. It's silly. I wouldn't watch it more than once. I wouldn't go see it again.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to watch it again.
Right.
You know what? And for anybody out there that's thinking like, oh, I don't know. I know what they mean. I know what those guys are. Look, I'm not watching Oppenheimer.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it the first time. 3 hours. It's hard to commit 3 hours of my day to go watch this movie. There was one time
mm-hmm.
I was going to go see it. I was going to go see it with a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Picked him up, drove to freaking Tinseltown.
Yeah.
I've always heard about this theater, right? I've always heard about it. We get there. There's a fire truck out front. They had a fire. They're closed for the day. We didn't see Oppenheimer that day, but I was like, you know what? This tracks for what I heard about Tinseltown.
That really does.
This is prime experience with this theater. But yeah, that was the only time I tried to go see it.
Yeah.
And I've thought about seeing it before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I always look up movie times, but then the times don't match up. And it's just like,
it's
3 hours
movie.
is a long movie.
It's a good movie. It's definitely worth 3 hours.
I'm sure it is, but I got to wait till it comes out.
Yeah, you can wait. You can wait. But no, I just want to talk about that because I really, really want the creators to succeed. I really hope this is a big hit for John David Washington.
I also do. He's had a few. He's had a.
Tenet was his last movie.
Was it really?
Yeah, Tenet. Now he did do a movie with Zendaya, however.
I think I've seen a trailer for that one.
Yeah, it was called Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah.
So, but it's just like a black and white film.
Yeah.
And they just arguing the entire time.
Yeah. Was it based off a true story? It seems like it was.
No, I don't think it was.
I
think it was just some experimental that somebody wanted to do, which I'm okay with. I like experimental movies.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the most part, he's been flying under the radar. He did Black Klansman. You know, he did Tenet and then Malcolm and Marie. Oh, and those are just really the notable movies that I know.
Right.
You know, so, you know, some of the reviews I've heard, they said it's one of the best movies of the year. I don't believe that. Because you said that about Oppenheimer.
Yeah,
right.
right.
Somebody said that about Barbie. Like, every movie can't be the best
movie.
Every
movie's the best one.
Yeah,
like
every movie's the best one.
Every big movie that comes out is at some point the number one movie in America.
Yeah.
We always see this.
Every single year.
Yeah.
But I really hope this movie is a success for him because I want to be on that Michael B. Jordan level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do.
That'd be nice.
Because it's really hard to be in the shadow of your father.
Yeah.
You know,
I think he's done a good job of not being in the shadow, though.
True,
because he's definitely done roles that you couldn't picture Denzel in. Could you picture Denzel in Tenet?
Well, okay, kind of, because he's done movies in the 80s and 90s that was pretty much similar.
Right.
Virtuosity. You remember that movie, Virtuosity?
It
was not a good movie.
No,
it was him and Kevin Spacey.
Oh no, I don't think I've seen that one.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it. I think it was him and Kevin Spacey. It was either him or Russell Crowe. I think it was Kevin Spacey, but yeah, he's done movies in the past that were kind of like on the borderline weird.
Yeah.
You know, Ricochet.
Well, he
John Lithgow.
He was also in Book of Eli.
Book of Eli.
But I guess that's not so much a weird movie.
Well,
but
it's not weird, though.
Definitely something outside of what I've normally seen him in.
Well, I mean, Man on Fire was the first time we ever seen him in another movie like that. Man on Fire was
such
dope.
a good movie.
Yeah, I love that movie. So John David Washington, he kind of takes his time with the movies that he takes. And this one, from what I'm hearing, might be a big hit.
I hope so. It looks really good.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see it.
Martin Scorsese. You got to help me out with his name.
Martin Scorsese.
There you go.
Scorsese.
So
Score says he.
there you go. Scorsese.
Score says he.
Scorsese.
Score.
Like
Like you score a touchdown.
well, Martin Score. That's what honestly, I don't. He doesn't deserve for me to call his name right because the way he's been butchering these comic book movies is really pissing me off.
Yeah,
now.
you were telling me he's back at it again.
Yeah, he's back at it again. He has a movie coming out for Flowers of the Killer Moon.
Right.
So I get it.
And it looks good. I saw a trailer for it. So
it does look good. And I can't wait.
I feel like I thought it already came out, honestly. I've heard about it forever ago.
Yeah.
I thought it already came out.
No, it's an Apple film.
Right. You were
So they're gonna play it in like select theaters. So it's gonna be it's gonna play everywhere if I'm not mistaken. Because they're trying to get the Oscars.
Yeah.
They have to make that bid for the Oscars. So
Yeah.
I get it. So, he's been in Variety magazine and he's talking about how comic book movies are gonna kill the industry and franchise movies are gonna kill the industry.
Right.
And we have to take a stand. What he fails to understand is those movies are what keep the box office driving.
Because when you think about movies, obviously Scorsese is very artistic and his movies are very famous and he's got his crowd or whatever. And if you're a film buff, you're gonna see Scorsese at some point.
You're gonna see it.
But when you think about the movie industry and the fact that they're trying to make money off the products that they're making, the art that they're making, the films that they're making, you have to look at it from a general audience perspective.
Yep.
Right? So general audiences are going to go see mainly movies they can turn their brains off to.
Exactly.
That's your action movies. That's your superhero movies. That's
maybe
not,
cartoons if you like
that's your
that.
cartoon movies
Yeah.
sometimes. That's not your deep Scorsese
This is not
tragic
gonna
story.
happen. Yeah. Especially if you're in your 30s and your 20s.
Yeah, especially.
9 times out of 10, you're not watching those movies.
Right.
Unless they're like a comedy.
I'm not saying I wouldn't go see a Scorsese movie.
Of course
I'd probably
not.
watch it.
Because we both want to see Kills of the Flower Moon.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. Leo's in it.
It's a true story.
Yeah, the plot seems interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, also, I'm going to go see like some superhero movie at some point.
That's going to probably take the first president over Kills of the Flower Moon. Keep it real.
Right. Because it's like, okay, if I had a choice, do I want to see something very serious with like some tragedy, with like drama? Do I want to see this like deep, dark movie, essentially? Or do I want to go see this lighthearted, fun action movie? Depends on my day. But it also,
does.
9 times out of 10, I'll probably go see the fun action movie. And I'll hate myself for it because I feel like I should expand my palette.
Yeah. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that because there's so many things to take into account.
Right.
The entertainment landscape, the podcasting landscape.
Yeah.
What's going to become first serve?
Yeah.
Comic book movie.
Yeah.
They're going to want us to review those movies.
Yeah.
So we have no choice.
Right.
Now, Kills of the Flower Moon, we can review that.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many clicks we're going to get off of it.
No, but I mean, if we were like a straight movie review show, the next superhero movie we would see is what, the Marvels?
The Marvels, yeah.
Yeah, we'd have to see the Marvels over the Killers of Flower
We
Moon.
just would.
Yeah,
We just would.
We got to talk about the Marvels, and we got to talk about like what's going on with MCU and blah blah blah.
Exactly.
Luckily, we're not that kind of show.
Yeah, we're not the type of show. Now, we'll get reviews from time to time.
Right.
And because we are, entertainment based, so we'll definitely give some reviews and give you opinions on what we think about certain movies.
Right.
But it's just like, I understand where he's coming from, and he's saying that movies should provoke emotion. But here's the deal. How many people can relate to his type of movies versus a superhero movie?
Yeah.
That has heart in it.
Yeah.
That has maybe, dealing with a family issue.
Right.
A person that has cancer.
Right.
Who wants to not deal with cancer anymore, so he tries to get it removed. I'm talking about Deadpool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that can relate to that.
That is true.
But how many people can relate to a guy snorting coke and, money laundering?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Like, how many people can relate to that? And that's a good movie. I love both of those movies.
Right. But I mean, yeah, you're right. You can't relate to the guy who's on top of Wall Street.
No.
Living the best life he possibly can. I mean,
snorting coke
Yeah.
and then cheating his way to the highest spot in the position.
Right. Kind of a counterpoint to that would be like, well, you can at least like picture yourself being that guy.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, yeah,
So
I have.
Right?
I pictured that 1,000
Everybody
times.
does, yeah.
But I'm talking about from a real emotional standpoint.
Yeah.
You cannot relate to half of his movies.
Right.
Maybe somebody can.
Right.
And if they can, hey, good for them. But I'm telling you that I can relate more to Captain America or a whatever superhero.
Just the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Yeah, the weight of the world on your shoulders.
Type of thing, yeah.
Or your parents dying.
Yeah.
Like, you can relate to those type of situations.
Yeah.
So I think he's kind of wrong in that disregard. Now I know he's 80 years old, so trying to change his mind. Yeah, he's stuck in his ways. When you're that old, you're there.
Yeah, I mean you're not changing.
You're not changing. So you have to get used to it.
Right. I do agree that it's annoying that he keeps coming back with this because, like, okay, the first time he did it, fine, whatever. Yeah. Like because at some point everyone's coming out to beat up on superhero movies, which it does make sense. It's kind of oversaturated.
It's a valid.
It is.
It's fair.
And at this point, superhero movies are kind of on their way out.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
it happens.
You know, they're still going to be around 5 years from now, but you know, the MCU is not getting much better. The DCU is.
Where it is,
flopping
it's flopping, but it's trying to get there. We'll see when Superman Legacy comes out in 2025.
Yeah, we'll see. And then you have these other comic book companies that are trying to start their universes, but like they're not getting off the ground.
But you know that all it takes is just one movie, Jacob.
It really does.
That's all it takes.
It takes one movie to bring it back. And I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens when the superhero movies finally like die down a little bit.
It'll happen one day.
Like, what's going to happen when there's no more MCU?
Yeah.
You know, what is the last MCU movie? And also, what is the next phase of, like, genre movies that come out?
It's coming. Pretty sure it was like that during the Western era. During the Western era, when in the 1930s, when you had the Western movies, and I think it was the 40s or the 50s.
Yeah.
Where
spaghetti westerns.
Yeah, spaghetti westerns over and over and over and over again. And then you had the gangster era of nothing but movies.
Yeah.
That's going to happen.
80s had the action films.
70s had the black exploitation films. Yeah. Those died. 80s had the action films.
90s had all your like coming of age kind of stuff.
Coming of age. Right. Well, I think 80s too had the coming of age too as well.
Yeah.
And then 80s and 90s.
So you got a mix.
You had like a little mix. And then you had
early 2000s was bad superhero movies.
Bad superhero movies, but they were trying.
Yeah. Also, you had like all your edgy comedies really start coming out around that time. Yeah. I couldn't tell you what the big like franchise or genre was of the early 2000s, but
it was mostly, horror movies.
Yeah, you're right. Horror movies, different horror movies. People trying to reinvent the horror movies because the 80s also had the slashers.
Yep,
right.
The slashers. Mm-hmm.
So we saw a change from slashers more to like your Saws or like your more intellectual.
I know
like,
what you did last summer.
Stuff. Yeah.
Urban legend.
Yeah, urban legend, and then that's when you also started seeing the beginning of the superhero stuff because Iron Man 2008, right? So. Yeah, that's where that began. And then the main 2010s.
It took off from there.
Yeah.
So I understand what he's saying. And the movies that he's talking about, the emotional movies, the movies that are art, they're pure art, those movies are now on Netflix and on streaming services now. Peacock, Paramount Plus, Amazon Prime.
Right.
Those are where you can find those movies, even on Apple Plus, on Apple TV. Yeah. That's just how it is now. Times have changed.
Yeah.
And the box office theaters have shown that those type of movies don't do good in the box office anymore.
Right.
They can.
Yeah, and they do.
Some of them do.
They do for their very niche audiences.
Yeah.
Right. But you're right. If you put Killers of the Flower Moon in theaters on IMAX on a Friday night, or is it going to get sold out? It's not going to do anything.
It's not going to get sold out.
You're right.
First of all, it won't even be in IMAX because you know why? It'll be a superhero movie taking a spot.
That's true.
Or
an action movie.
Or an action movie.
Yeah.
Now, luckily, there is no action movie and there is no superhero movie coming out when his movie comes out. Because it will be in IMAX.
Yeah.
And I do plan on seeing it.
Yeah.
So, I understand where he's coming from. He makes valid points. But you can also take it to both sides. If you were to do straight that type of movies, art house movies all the time.
Yeah.
And just have no superhero movies and no franchise movies.
You have to have a wide
have a wide variety.
Yeah, you got to have a variety. And also, I don't know, he made this point already. Stop.
Yeah, I was like, stop. Whoever's keep asking him this, stop
coming back with that.
Like, he's not going to change his opinion.
Right.
Now, honestly, I don't know. Now, maybe he probably took it upon himself. Because the writer's strike, and then I think also too, some of it is probably also because of the studios using so much money. So maybe that was a question that was asked.
Maybe.
So I don't know what type of context it was asked in.
Yeah.
So, but still, I still share the same opinion. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Pick a different hill to die on, Martin Scorsese.
Please do. All right, so I have in my hand.
Oh yeah, you were telling me.
Yeah. Now, I'm doing this not to shame you,
Not the shit.
not to embarrass you, but I'm doing this because I want you to see these movies at one point in time in your life. Now, what I have here, no one can see it because it's audio, is a red sandwich baggie. And in this baggie, I have a list of cultural black movies.
All right.
From the 90s.
All right.
Boys in the Hood is in here.
Ooh.
Soul Food is in here. Friday is in here.
I've seen Friday.
Okay. All right.
You can take Friday out of there.
Okay. I'll think about it.
I've seen the Fridays.
Okay, good. All right. I don't think you need to raise your fist like that, but okay. We got.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, it's not that. It's just like you determined on that one. Okay, cool. I also have Higher Learning. That's a good movie.
I think I've heard of that one. Yeah.
Ice Cube was in that one. So it's 10 movies.
Now, you say these are black cultural movies.
Yes.
Which obviously.
And they're very good cultural movies. They're not trash.
Right. Are they black cultural movies from your opinion, or did you look up like a list of black cultural movies?
I looked them up.
Okay.
But they're also kind of from my opinion, too.
Okay.
But I got Minister Society in here. I got some good ones, man. I picked out some good ones. Because I asked some of the coworkers, and they were like, yeah, you should definitely give them some definitely good cultural black movies. So, yeah, man, I got Juice in here with Tupac. That was also a good one. Yeah, Crooklyn, Spike Lee movie. That's a good classic movie. Yeah, I got Harlem Nights, Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor.
Have you heard of that one?
Yeah, that's a good one too.
Might have heard of that one.
Yeah, you probably did. That's a really good one. It had a lot of good comedians in there. Let's see what else we got in here. Ooh, baby.
What if I just like pull 5 in a row and I'm like, oh, I've seen this.
No, because that's not fun. That's not fun.
Well, I mean, not that I'm lying, but like, what if I surprise you in this moment?
Won't be lying, that's for sure. Tales from the Hood is actually here. Now, if you happen to put out Tales from the Hood, because I know you want to do a Halloween episode, I'll let you pick another one because we can review this one for the Halloween episode.
Okay.
So, if you happen to pick that one out, don't worry about it.
All right.
And I'll let you go back and pick another one.
Free pass.
All right, yeah, I'll give you a free pass on that. We just go and pick another one out. All right, so now I am going to mix up the bag, mix it up, shake it up, mix it up, and then you will pick a movie from this bag.
All right.
You will have to watch it and review it on the next podcast.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So he's putting his hand in the bag and he's lifting out a piece of paper.
Menace to Society.
Oh, that should be a good one.
Yeah.
That should be a good one.
I've heard of this one. This is Isaac's favorite movie, I think.
Menace to Society, really?
I think so. I think, because like, the name tags, I think he had this on one of his name tags.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Isaac is our friend, by the way, just so you guys know.
Yeah. Our very real friend who exists.
Yeah, he does exist.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'll see Menace to Society.
Okay.
I'll check it out. I'll tell you what I think about it.
All
I
right.
want to preface this.
What you
I
want
want
to
to say,
I'm not doing this for embarrassment.
I want to say, I haven't avoided black movies.
No, I don't. No. I'm not doing that because there are plenty of times that some people have. Look, there's a lot of movies that you haven't seen that are white movies. Let's get it out the way.
To be fair, I know a lot about movies, and sometimes I know about movies through osmosis. So, like, I haven't seen the Godfather trilogy. For one, I haven't seen.
That's okay.
That's okay. That's a pass.
Yeah, that's a pass.
I don't know. There's been many times where we're talking about movies.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, you know what? I've never actually seen it. And then James would be like, what?
And that's kind of the reason why I did what I did. But this one in particular is because I kind of do want to get your opinion about this. Some of these movies.
All right. Yeah.
It's just for fun. It's not for embarrassment. It's not to shame.
I did have this idea, but like just in general movies. Because like I was just saying, I know movies through osmosis and just like looking up stuff or reading about stuff or whatever. But like I haven't seen a bunch of movies. So I have thought about doing something similar to this. Just not like specifically.
I guess a lot of people thought it was a good idea, though. I ain't gonna lie. A lot of people thought it was a good idea.
What did you tell them?
I just told them, I said, hey, there's a lot of movies that he hadn't seen. So I figured instead of just doing it just a widespread movies, I just narrowed down to black movies.
Black movies.
Because now somebody said, like, oh, well, he should pick a movie for you, which you could. If you want to, you go right ahead. Next week podcast, you can pick one for me. But I guarantee you, I've seen a lot of movies.
You probably have.
I've seen a lot of stuff, Jacob.
I've seen a lot of movies as well.
I know you have. I know you have. I know you have. I know you have. I'm pretty sure you have. But today, you're going to see Men's Society sometime this week. Once you watch this movie, next week on the podcast, you pick out a movie. You have to do the same thing to me.
Right.
All right. Fair?
Yeah, okay. I'll think of some movies. I'll think of like some deeply white movies. No, I'm not going to do that.
No, do it. Do it, man. Do it. Come on.
All right, but yeah, I'll come up with some movies.
Yeah, come up with some movies. And, you know, if the people like it and people think that that's kind of cool, like, yeah, we should do it kind of more often.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, yeah, we'll see.
That ties into an idea I kind of had already, but I'll talk to you about that off air. Yeah. Which, I mean, we're out of time already, so we got to get out of here. But before we go, please feel free to email us at onthegopod2023@gmail.com. We'd love to get your emails, your thoughts, your opinions, your hate mail, your love mail, whatever you got to send us.
Oh man, I don't know why you said that, but that's fine.
Just hit us up over there. You can find me on Instagram at jacobdantone.audio.com. It's just jacobdantone.audio on Instagram. And James, you are found.
You can find me at James on Instagram 9794.
All right, that's all we got. We on the go. You on the go. We're out of here.
Peace.